Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. One more look here at Solana, see what's going on. We're still establishing lower highs and higher lows. So these are good signs, essentially kind of giving us indication we're going to go up higher, but also not great because we couldn't break through our local resistance. So just kind of friendly advice here at this point. Bitcoin likely to pull back a little bit, and if so, I think altcoins are going to do the same, if not stronger. So just be mindful of that. And at this point, with some coins not breaking their local highs, there's a decent chance we do continue a bit lower to retest our local lows. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. Quick congrats to our committee here for some nice profits on our dog wave hat trade. Almost 40% there. Ethereum 80% and Bitcoin 50%. So it's been a nice profitable week this week for us, but you got to keep in mind we're not sending out millions of signals. I'm slow and steady and trying to be as consistent as possible. We do have an XRP trade in profit and a BNB trade in profit, but between now and then, I'm just we're waiting for a pullback for the price action, just based on trying to get into a better position that, once more, it may not happen, folks. Yesterday, things kind of took off on us. But at this point, I think we're going to see that natural cool down because Bitcoin is doing really well. And most altcoins are like not even breaking their local highs or barely doing so. So just keep that in mind. All that being said, 161 is that local area of liquidation. And we have a heavy concentration in the last 7 days at 143. So we're kind of in the middle of that range. But if we do get down to the low 140s, I think 140 to 144 is still a solid consideration for a long. Liquidation short delta is higher. This isn't like monumental or like super significant, but it is letting us know bears are still in control here. Furthermore, when we look at the back-end data here for open interest, we can recognize 155 and 146, those two areas of open interest. So two areas of open interest there, kind of reinforcing resistance at 155 and or support at 146. So the likelihood of going down from here makes sense because if you look at Bitcoin, it's not pulling back super hard. It doesn't even have a bearish engulfing candle, and Solana on the inverse does. So just keep that in mind, okay? So definitely not hating on Solana, but I can tell you that this isn't like a super substantial move up. I do think that maybe pulling back a little bit further would make more sense just based on natural, the way in which money flows away from Bitcoin and goes into alts. And now at this point, it's going away from alts and flowing into Bitcoin. It's not really a great situation for altcoins. Either way, the benefit here in the big picture is that I think we're on the right track. Main reason why is because we have a nice bull flag type of pattern here that's been broken. We've retested this descending trend line as a bullish backtest. So even though I think the price may pull back, it may not be a monumental pullback. You may want to average into your position just based on the simple fact that the market is looking fairly strong right now. Just keep in mind there was a tremendous amount of money flowing into altcoins yesterday, and it would make sense today or tomorrow to possibly see that outflow, right? Just be mindful of that. By the way, daily time frame on the macro perspective is looking mostly good. This isn't like phenomenal, but this isn't bad either. Okay, so it's mainly a positive sign here. But once more, I'm not super like convinced that we're like going straight up from here, right? So keep that in mind. Either way, at this point, looking at MACD on the 4-hour time frame, where it's diverging, stochastic is as well. We're soon to retest 50 on the RSI. These are like all like kind of not great signs, but we're over the moving averages too. So it kind of lets us know this trend is still in place, right? We're still establishing higher lows, and that's a good sign. It's just that this lower high doesn't really make me feel super confident, all right? So either way you look at it here, once more, I've spoke about this previously. We close above 160, getting above this local high range here, then we're gonna be in a lot better shape. That does require Bitcoin to not be pulling back and Bitcoin dominance to essentially be, in better shape than it is right now. It's still very high. And until that slows down, that curve starts to dissipate, we can expect this to continue to happen. Quickly to note too, for Solana futures, the previous gap over the weekend was filled. So keep that in mind. There's no real incentive for the price to pull back much harder. So even though I do expect a bit of a correction here, I'm still leaning more towards a long in the range of the 145 to 150 range. So hoping we see a little pullback to 107, 108K for Bitcoin, so we can start adding to our positions and continuing to take some longs. Between now and then, I think shorting is not a great opportunity, even though there are some pullbacks that could potentially come through. It's too high of a risk right now to short, and I think it's too early to long. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Why don't you comment below? Let me know. Join us over at CryptoCache.tech as well if you want to be part of our trade signals community, etc. It's just a really good experience there. We got a lot of new community members coming over, so make sure you join or read through our signals guide. Everything is explained here, so you know how to structure your trades based on my trading prowess. Other than that, awesome exchange benefit here with Bitunix, link down below. The 25th of July is the cutoff here, so take advantage of this. This applies to my current members, anyone who also wants to register, and join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord too. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. I really appreciate your time. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.